So, willkommen wieder bei Comedy Talk auf Comedy247 und heute haben wir einen ganz besonderen Gast, keine Ahnung, wie wir ihn bekommen haben, aber wir haben bekommen, und zwar Eddie the fucking Legend Izzard. Mehr muss man eigentlich darüber nicht sagen. Ich freue mich riesig auf dieses Interview und ich bin schon ein bisschen nervös.
Yeah, but Eddie, thanks for coming. It's very, for me as a comedian, it's fairly surreal because I rewatched Stripped a few months ago. Just went through a lot of specials at one day. And loved it. So now, just when Christopher said we got Eddie, I was just like, okay, play it cool, don't overdo it. So it's hard for me as a comedian to sit in front of an iconic legend.
I can't deal with. I don't know what to say.
So
because I can go that way. I can go. Yeah, I am fantastic. Ich bin fantastisch, and das ist sehr stark für mich. So fantastic zu sein. Yeah, how can I deal with this? Oh, and some people do. I think. You know, I know I've heard stories of people really controlling people, and then I quite like to say, hey, let's go here, let's go do this, let's go buy a bag of crisps. I go off on my own, you know, in girl mode and boy mode, girl mode, no difference. The stress. This is interessant. Nach, I think it's 33 Jahre now since my coming out, and vorher mein Stress for in girl mode, as I call it, Mädchen mode, war here, and boy mode, young mode was here.
Yeah. So it's one more incognito with the boy mode, like.
So boy mode. So I look more boyish.
Yeah.
You know, and now, boy mode is there, and girl mode is like there about 0,5%, and 0,5%, and Viertel%. That is really odd. I have pushed for that really hard, but I sort of know why. There's a number of reasons why, but. People stare at me and I just stare back at them.
But they probably also stare because you're known, you're world famous.
No, not here.
No?
No, in Deutschland, no. The comedy people know me, but or the progressives know me.
Yeah.
Or a tourist from America or Großbritannien or Australian, But no, I can usually see in the faces. But then also, I have noticed, I'm ready for if I have to fight.
Yeah.
Mein Kampf, I booked Mein Kampf gegen die Nazis. I'm going to have a book, Mein Kampf gegen die Nazis. That would be my book. Just to shove it to Hitler. And I have found if you look at faces, you think you should never assume, because I can look and think, oh, they're negative, oh, hello, yeah, oh, positive, okay, I thought okay. So I can't, some people just, because you're walking around, you have a blank face, or you could look a bit gruff, a bit sort of, and then they go, hey, it's you, and I go, oh, so you're positive. So I try and have a neutral face.
Yeah. Do you still do public transport?
Oh yeah, all the time. We were going to come on the tram. I was just a bit late, so we love the trams. It's just I'm looking at Sarah, tour manager here.
No problem.
So trams, she loves trams. I love trams. We love trams. I'd love to have them in London. We have them in South London, Croydon. Yeah. Trains, S-Bahn. I used to learn German on the S41.
On the ring, yeah?
On the ring. The ring, and I go, oh, we've got to do that. Yeah, I got to
How
show.
did you learn German? You just talk?
Well, so my teacher was there, mein Lehrer war da, und ich war da, and it was in 2014, sehr kalt in Januar and February, okay? January, February.
Times in the city.
Yeah, fucking freezing. But there was a heater in every little compartment of the 41 and the 42. And so I thought, we're going to learn it here. And I can go, oh, look, that's what's it, Tempelhof, and that's that, and that's this, and that's this, and that's that. And oh, look at these buildings. And it's beautiful. We don't have that so much in London. The above, the Schnellbahn above ground. We have a lot of Unterbahn, but not so much. But anyway, I really like Berlin. And they've got all this history, and it goes way back. And Frederick the Great, I'm interested in, and he was talking in French all the time.
Yeah.
And he heard pour la mérite, the Blue Max, which is the German thing, but that's in French.
Yeah, he was very Francophile,
Yeah, and then you've got the Napoleonic Wars, and then, because he was before Napoleon, wasn't he, his time, I think. This is I know a lot of military history. I think he was before, otherwise he would have fought Napoleon all the time. And then Hitler loved Frederick II, but I don't think Frederick II would have necessarily liked him, because Hitler's a fuckhead. Mass murdering fuckhead is the official title, mass murdering fuckhead. Yeah, so it is all good, and it's great to be back, and the weather is pretty good today. It's a bit cool.
Just cool, yeah. But I think we need this, because otherwise you get just too cocky as a Berliner and think, all right, the next few months is just going to be fun and love.
Well, we get this. I mean, you see, this is the thing. If you took North Europe and all the fights and the wars and the killing we had over centuries, we could have all stopped and said, "What's your weather like?" "Yeah, it gets a bit shit." "Yeah, it's a bit shit." Not Southern Europe, Northern Europe. And Southern Europe didn't really fight so much. They just went, "Oh, it's so hot. Let's go to the beach." And it's interesting. Why did the Romans fight so much? And I think it was because originally you got the patricians and you got the plebeians, and then they said, "Who wants to be in our army? Okay, you guys over there from some of the countries we control now, you join our army, you can become a citizen, and you go off and fight." So they were from colder countries.
Yeah.
I think. I don't know, because I don't think the Romans were really going out there and doing it.
Is that a certain time you would have liked to go back to if time travel would be possible? No?
No, there is no time. Well, I mean, I'd like to go back and look at all of it. All
but
not
of be involved in it there.
No, but some people say, would you like to live in an andere Zeit? And I think, no. Nein, es ist nicht möglich. Well, it's not, every time has positive things and fucking negative things. And if you ever get depressed, just look at human rights from ancient Egypt to now. The 5,000 years of civilization, we could easily, if we could, in a casual way, we say, okay, from ancient Egypt to now, that's civilization. And it goes, Hitler, you know, Margaret Thatcher.
Trump a little dip as well.
Trump's a dip, and Farage is a dip, and, you know, Brexit and Trump shit. But we keep hammering forwards. And
I think that's something I was watching a lot of interviews, and you said that, and it was perfectly said, that this is either way the last or the first century for mankind.
This is. I really think this. We invented dynamite. Alfred Nobel, who did all the Nobel Prizes, made tons of money out of dynamite and explosives. And he was a big spider who lived in Swedish guy, lived in France. His brother died. They printed the obituary for the wrong Nobel, and they said, Jesus. Alfred Nobel is horrible. He went, "Oh God, I'm horrible. Ooh, I better change this." So we put a lot of money into things, which is a thing that rich people do, and the Rockefellers did this, and the Carnegies did this, and, and it makes them, makes them look really nice. And 1860, dynamite. 1950, 90 years on, hydrogen bomb. So if you take that exponential rise, so it's 70 years since the hydrogen bomb. What the fuck is out there? You know, we've got stuff out there they haven't even tried. You know, nuclear grade nerve gas is being used. Russian nerve gas is being used either by the Russians or with some collusion in there, whatever, in Britain. The wrong people get hold of stuff. We're going to take ourselves out. This one is going to be. There's no God's plan. There were no gods and no God's plan, because otherwise they would have come down and helped. Second World War.
Stop it.
Yeah, exactly. Hitler. Okay, Trump. You know, you would have just taken out the bad guys and said, everyone, live and let live. Leben und
Leben lassen.
Leben und leben lassen. It's a nice Ausdruck, man. It's a gutes Ausdruck. Leben und leben lassen. And so no one's controlling it. This one, luck, it's a Zufall und Glück. Wir haben Glück, we have luck. We're here. We got this 5,000 years after 13.5 billion years since the Big Bang. 5,000 years, that is nothing. So tiny. And we're going to blow it out the window. And
but you're more optimistic or pessimistic?
No, I'm transgender. I'm here. I'm going into politics. I'm going to be an MP. I'm making good, decent money. I'm performing in 4 languages. I'm running marathons. I've done 91 marathons now. Christ, I'm the most relentlessly positive person. I wanted to be in special forces, but I've done civilian special forces. That's what I feel.
Why did you want to be? Because that's something.
In special forces?
Yeah.
I know how to fight.
Yeah.
And the Second World War, which is interesting. I would have been in that war, and I would have fought against the Nazis. Now it looks like the Nazis, this is a German problem. I realize now with my study of history, it's not a German problem, it's a human problem. The extreme right, the hating the haters. You can drink on your own and you can hate on your own. Hatred is more powerful than love in politics.
It's easier, isn't it? It's
easier
to hate.
You can just sit there and say, hey, what are these fuckers? And it's a way of making yourself feel better by doing nothing. You say, these people are lower than you. Pull yourself up. Yeah, I want to be with the guys who say, I just can stand here and I feel better by myself. The rest of us, more progressives, more moderate, we go out and say, I'm going to work to do this and then I'll feel better. And I'll go and do this. I'll make something happen. And some people don't. They just have self-hatred and they want to hate other people and their characters aren't so strong.
I think it's a sign of insecurity, especially for comedians. I think most important thing as a comedian after a while is confidence on stage too. I think I watched you yesterday and there was moments where you reacted to the people not laughing, so you said, nicht interessant. So that's the confidence you have, like, all right, I'm fine with it, but as long as you follow me. And people love confidence in comedy, but a lot of people are afraid of true confidence, like people, transgender people coming out and saying, this is how I live and this is what I want to do. And people are afraid of their confidence.
I don't think, I wouldn't articulate it like that. I don't think they're afraid of, I think they are annoyed by their confidence. If you are confident, it's, if you take, say, alternative sexuality, LGBT, it's called LGBT in Germany as well? Yeah. If somebody thought, well, I'm this, I have this life, I don't like my life, I don't really like myself, I'm there, but these people, at least they're lower than me. And then someone says, no, actually, they're equal to you, and some of them are moving ahead of you because they've got businesses and they're going and they're earning good money. They go, whoa, so I was there, and these people were below. Now they're equal to me, or they can work harder and they can have better houses or something. And that's not right. I wanted that, and that's what annoys them, is the fact that what they might have been told by some racist parents or upbringing, or what they thought this is supposed to be lower. I mean, when the Nazis came along, he gave permission. Yeah, you thought these people were pushed them back down again, because in the 20s and through the Weimar Republic in the 30s, or no, up to the Nazis getting in, there would have been an idea that if you're gay or lesbian would be the overt ones there. That was not, that was getting cooler, that was getting a bit more okay after the First World War. In America, the Roaring '20s, the idea that everyone was, the films were very sexy. If you
Especially in this city as well.
Yeah, in this city, yes.
Gay and lesbian clubs all over.
Absolutely. You watch Tarzan, early Tarzan, it's very interesting. You know Tarzan?
Yeah.
They did underwater, naked, sort of sexual dancing.
Yeah.
And then the Hays Code came in the early 30s. And at the time the Nazis came in, it's not linked, but the idea that 30s everything's only clamping down again, and the Catholic right, and so these are human problems. These are all human problems and not national problems. And I can get this from studying history, but some people who will be a voting public will not study any of this, and they will vote emotionally. They will not. You can appeal on common sense, you can appeal on logic. They won't care about that. They will just vote.
Yeah, it seems like that emotionality is getting even bigger for a lot of people, even if there is such an easy access to information and history, for example.
Yeah, I don't think it gets more, I just think it does cycles, because when Obama came in, we were all feeling that. I was here when he played to 250,000 Germans coming.
I went there as well too.
Yeah, and we were Valkyrie was coming out.
Yeah.
And I did this speech for a press conference for Valkyrie, and I said, the real Germany is not Hitler's Germany. The real Germany was here before 33 and since after 45. That is the Germany what we're fighting for, and they're the 250,000 people out there that greeted Obama. And now that, maybe that's a little bit simplified, but because Germany really is same as Britain and France, whatever, you're going to have your progressives and your regressives, and then there's the anxious middle, and that's the guys in the middle, who just voted for a referendum in Britain because they were told that the 2008 financial crisis was all Europe's fault and we should get out of Europe, that'll make jobs much easier, and it won't. And automation is coming, so those people are going to have an even harder time.
Is that something you're anxious about? Especially because you're going into politics and with the Brexit, because it's not really clear what's going to happen.
They have no plans. They have no plans. They're trying to make it up on the back of a cigarette packet. They never did have any plans. Farage resigned immediately after. I've smashed things up. I have no plans. I'm going to run and hide. Running and hiding brigade. The only interesting thing is if you look back through politics, through every decade, every century, every millennia, it's exactly the same. There are some things you could say this thing wasn't like slavery. Imagine when if us guys, we'd be fighting against slavery. Now slavery is gone, so we don't get up in the morning going, no, okay, there's some illegal slavery, but slavery as a governmental idea is not in there, and even in crazy places they're not coming out with slavery as the thing. But we don't punch the sky and go, we got slavery around the neck. In America they had the Civil War and they smashed that, but it was 100 years after the Civil War that they got the civil rights law through, and that was from a Southerner, and that was from a Texas guy. That was LGB's legacy to the world. 99 years after the end of the Civil War. So humans can be as crappy as we can be, and we can be as great, and this century could be our last, or it would be our first, and it's up to us. It's up to us moderates to decide. The moderates will decide. I'm a radical moderate. I do radical things with a moderate message, and I believe in the essence of unions and the essence of business. Unions are there to stop it when business goes crazy. Business is there to, if you're going to risk your money and things, then you should be able to win big. New ideas, you're gambling it in a positive way, not just on number 5, but you're saying, I'm going to try and make something, build something, do something, a new service. But, so that's great, that's wealth creation, and then jobs can happen from that. Automation is going to be interesting, because there are a pure business idea. They'd say, well, let's sack all the people and we'll just keep all the money to ourselves and have robots do it. And that's not going to make the world work very well.
Because robots won't go and buy stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Well, there's this new idea that there's going to have to be a living wage for anyone, no matter what they're doing, whether they're working or not working. And that is probably the place we're going to have to get to, because there's going to be, the idea that some people will be unemployable because those unskilled jobs, robots will be there going, supermarkets, automatic supermarkets.
But at some point also extremely skilled jobs, like a pilot. If you have
I am a pilot myself. I have a pilot's license, and I know that the guys told me this. There are 3 autopilots in every plane, and the pilots land the plane just for practice. They could.
So the plane actually could land itself as well.
Yeah, there's 3 back. So there's 1 there, and if that blew, the second one would land it, and if that blew, the third one would land it, and then there's the pilot. But they always get the pilots to do it so that you can keep up to speed, because you need, in case they all go, something like that. But human error is usually more the problem than pilot error. We know got these new pilot driverless cars, but then 1 or 2 have hit some people and we go, exactly. So that's weird, but we can see ourselves leaning towards it. I went to Apple and they said you can buy stuff from the Apple store with the Apple app. You just go in and take it, and I suppose it'll zing 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 if you just, it's logic. You just think I just you walk out. But I do love Apple. I do. Steve Jobs was so fucked up there in his emotional life. How he was with his daughter, just not great. But I love that single-minded thing. He was bringing out Apple II, and I was coming out
at the same time. Yeah. Did you have an Apple II?
No, I'd heard about Apple, but the price range, again, the price range was out of my league. I was in an Oric, which is a very early computer. There was Sinclair ZX Spectrum was the big one that had a different key thing. But I wanted a QWERTY keyboard, so I got this Oric keyboard, and then they died out. I got a number of things that died out, so it doesn't exist anymore. But I was trying to start a computer company. There was an idea, okay, maybe I won't do that, I'll do a computer company. I've always liked business. I did accounting and financial management at university, and I own the copyrights of my shows, so that's passing the accounting exams. But I dropped out from university like Steve Jobs and Bill Gates both did.
Yeah, but at the same time you made it big as well on entertainment.
Exactly, this is what I'm tying myself in.
And now you're doing comedy in German. Do you write the jokes in German, or do you translate still? Because I saw you yesterday, and it was for me it felt like you're writing it in German and you kind of hammering it away.
I don't write anything. Okay, so there's no that and there's no that.
It's more of a riff.
So yeah, it's more going like the dogs. I was running, and the dog was behind it, and a woof woof, and I just said, "What are dogs trying to say?"
This is a beautiful bit.
Yeah. So the dog's going. Einbacher, Attentate, woof woof woof, and then I realized, well, I was playing around with it because I'm just improvising the thing, and each time it's a little bit different. And they go, "They're so sicher, they're so sure." They're short. Like the people at the extreme right are always so short, and dogs are always so short. There is someone there. I am so short, and you haven't seen him. You're not even behind the door. I'm a dog. It's my job. Just back off, man. Back the fuck up. And that is crazy. But if they could talk, they would just be going. And he says it's an attentator, just like the last time. No, not like last time I was wrong, but this time I'm sure it's the dog that cried attentator. Assassins. I think I'm getting used to it in German now. In French it was assassin. It's through the sound, the syllables all sound the same. And in English it's going to be assassins. I think I got to lean on the second syllable. But it's the sound of words. Attentator. You know, it's just, and then when the besitzer, when the owner comes back with the gun, it's okay. Where are the assassins? What? you can just wait that pause, and that's the same what as the Schmetterling later with Gandalf. So, and my brother's analysing. My brother is the language expert, Mark Izzard, and he's the elder brother, and he's saying it's the plays. It's not it's not the bad guy and the good guy conversations. It's actually it's two people on the same side, but one has an ask, one has a demand. Can you Schmetterling? Can you, the butterfly, go to the misty mountains and bring me back an eagle? He's going, what? Just go off the thing. What now? I'm trying to get pollen. How much pollen do you need? About half a ton. Got some big fucking butterflies down there. It's Schmetterling season, and so it's that mucking about stuff. Those conversations, they're always a bit different, and I love doing that. I don't know where I was going with this, but so I don't write anything in a language. So I was improvising it in French, and now I'm improvising in German, and I've done 2 shows in English. And when I do those, they're a little bit weird because I go.
You have to switch.
Well, I have to make sure the right words are coming out, and sometimes you get it wrong, and also bed the thing in. If you're going from assassins, attentator, assassins, and then assassins, those 3 words for the same thing, they have different sounds or different places they should be leaned on. So it's a master class in language reaching and fucking up. And before I was doing it, I'd learned line by line by line by line, which was good, but it was more like a theatre piece where I'd learnt lines. And now this is...
You have more room to just really explore.
Key lines I have to learn, and then stellt euch vor, for 500 Jahre, I have to stellt euch vor, which I wouldn't have been able to come up with. Vor 500 Jahre, 3 Leute hier noch, in Berlin, and then flip off from the Schlüsselsätze, and then I have the key lines, and then I jump off and go, and then he said this and that, and then König Heinrich the actor marrying 6 wives, and one has no name, and one's called Jim.
He said
and
Jeff,
one goes
I love that.
Is it Jeff from
Steve Jurgen as well?
Yeah, Steve Jurgen. Yeah, so I just feel for it, and I have a sense of comedy, and then I've just got to put the words. And sometimes I go off to improvise a bit, and I think I don't know how to say that. So it's kind of like high wire walking. And I keep falling off the wire and then holding on, then clambering back up on the wire and going, and I'm not that bothered by it. I feel confident. Is there a safety net? Oh, my safety net is that, well, es ist nicht interessant für ein von 23 Publikum hier in Berlin. And I can just do that. This writing on the hand thing, which I developed years ago, it's like a Shakespearean aside. They do not understand what I am doing, but which Shakespeare must have done, and old German playwrights must have done, and Molière must have done.
Which is, I think, is one of the tools as a comedian to learn that, reacting to something not working works immediately, because the people are just like, he knows. Let's just follow him.
Yeah, it's the confidence. They will. If you don't get jokes on the way in, you can get them on the way out.
Yeah.
You know, this is all funny. This is not all funny. None of it is funny. Oh, you should go back and live in a ditch. Why a ditch? I don't know. What are you writing now? Let's write a letter to your mum. Dear mum, how are you?
Is that something which characterizes you because you pushing yourself? You said in 91 marathons, that was that, you know, physically pushing yourself, and now you do all these different languages. I mean, you have the show on the 6th of June in the Normandy.
Yeah, 3 shows, 3 languages.
At the same night? Like
yeah.
German, France.
Yeah, 1900 auf Deutsch. And this is a place where Germany was fighting against it, but I just thought this is more positive. So it's the D-Day anniversary, which I don't know how it's known in America. It's the French, it's the débarquement, the landings. It's not the invasion, it's the landings, and you know, because it's all that kind of stuff. And then for Germany, they were under Hitler. It was trying to hold on to all this stuff.
I think we call it D-Day as well. We just took it over.
Yeah, that's interesting. I should check that. Oh, I know. There's a way of doing this. Do you know how to check this? You know, if you want to check something between English and German or anything.
You Google it.
No, you Wikipedia.
Oh.
And then if you look at it in a different language, they will switch the title.
Oh, right.
Yeah, so I'm now going to do that.
So you do Wikipedia and D-Day?
Yeah, so you put it, exactly that. And then if you hit French, it'll say the débarquement. So here we go. D-Day Wiki. Because I got my phone in German.
Yeah. Is that a way to learn for you then?
Yeah, well, it's good because there's things that comes up with all these words. D-Day, Entscheidung in der Normandy. Entscheidung?
Decision. So Entscheidung.
The
final.
Well, it's battle in. It could be Entscheidung. I don't know. Whatever. Yeah. Original Titel D-Day ist Juni ist Dokumentar. That's a Spielfilm. Hang on. No, that's a film. Invasion in der Normandy.
You're on Wikipedia a lot.
Sorry?
Are you on Wikipedia a lot?
I do.
Because I know your bit where you say after a few sentences you just jump around with the blue.
Yeah.
I used to do that too, and then it's just too much. I can't keep it anymore. It's just I'm trying to learn new things, but I'm learning by watching documentaries.
Yeah, I do use community. Okay, well they say Operation Overlord, so Operation Overlord. Okay, I'm not quite sure how. Anyway, whatever that is, that thing. Normally that works, but this is a bit weird because D-Day is just the day. That was just the end day was D-Day because D-Day -1, D-Day because it was D-Day minus.
It was the day they landed on.
Yeah, that's what we call it, and for French it's jour J, which is J-Day. But they say J is like G's, so it's jour J. So that's confusing. And there's débarquement, there's the Normandy landings, we call them landings because we're trying to keep the word invasion out of it from our point of view because it's France and you know, all that complicated stuff, which I found interesting. Eisenhower was chosen because of his ability to talk amongst his own fractious generals and the British, and particularly Montgomery, who decided he was God's brother or something, you know. So Montgomery thought he was brilliant, and then Patton, who was just mouthing off and probably very, it was obviously very right wing and was against, you know, fighting the Nazis. But they said now we should get with the Nazis and let's fight the Russians. Oh Christ! So all that mess, which I find interesting because it means that nothing actually changes. The difficult, messy situations. We move forward with Obama, and then Trump's there pulling everything apart, saying, "I'm going to smash everything up." And oh my God, you're just such a dickhead.
He is a huge dickhead. But I mean, it's kind of seems like the age of dickheads when it comes to power. People are voting dickheads into power.
No, I think it's.
It's just a protest, you think?
No, I don't think it's about. I just think it's always been there.
Yeah.
It's always been dickheads voted in. Mussolini was in 22. You know, Mussolini was in for 22 years.
But especially at a time like now, where you think that people have more access to information, there should be more.
They don't, but there's a whole group of people who feel, rightly or wrongly, that they don't feel they have any spare time to do that, and they have no inclination, no drive to do that. I mean, I look at all the history because I'd like to find out where we are, and I believe I can use my energy to help steer humanity in a way that the majority of people, for the many, not for the few, that's the Labour Party thing, and that for the many, the vast majority of us, I mean 98% of us, can all do Leben and Leben lassen lives and say, okay, you guys are religious, I don't believe in your God, but I respect you have a right to believe in those gods, and I link with you on the spiritual thing. I think the connection between us all is great. If there is someone coming down who's merciful, fantastic, but please explain World War II and World War I and the Spanish flu after World War I. You know about the Spanish flu?
Yeah. About 30 million people or something.
The estimates go crazy, between 30 to 50 to 80, you know, and there's 10 million died in the First World War, and so there was a God, he said, okay, I know you've all died, and now I'm going to press the Spanish flu button. The people were vomiting blood up. Where the fuck did that come from? Why would it come in 1919? What? Black Plague, go back to all those plagues. It was just like another Black Plague. And people dropped like flies. And it's sort of hardly known. And if you try to, and certain things will not play in an election. Cameron said in the referendum, remember, we set up European Union to stop having world wars, and a lot of people say, well, what world wars? Or I don't care, or what,
It's so far time going.
This is why I do the 333 gigs, which were very popular in I was killing it in German, in Birmingham. I was in Birmingham, blowing it away.
In German?
Yeah, the German show, I was going, this is Wahnsinn. It's here in Wahnsinn, in Birmingham, here in Birmingham. And
there's so many Germans in Birmingham?
Well, there could be German teachers, there could be German nationals on holiday or working there, some students, I'm not sure. Bristol was fantastic, Bristol, French, German and English. And that was, because it is a help for we've had 2 referendums now. First one was 66-34 for us. Last one was 52-48 for them, so that's only a tiny difference there. So we've already had a massive win, and then for 40 years the whining right whined on and whining. And they say, no, that's not good enough majority, let's do this. And then they feel they can do a really hard, vicious Brexit out of that 2% difference. So it's inevitable there'll be a third referendum. And also the really good thing is it's not about Britain and Europe, it's about the world. This is the thing, this is what I realized. I don't need to fight Britain and place it in Europe and which direction we're going. And it's time to fight for the world, because no one can fight for the world. Politically, you can't say, I'd like to really help the world do this, or what are you going to do? It's a very difficult thing to do, but I'm trying to live a life that can show off, give a positive image, a positive Bild, and that young people growing up, older people, whatever, people can look and go, well, that seems more positive than Trump shit. And that's what I've got to do, and that's what I'm going to fight for. And I don't know how to make it work for 7 billion people, but if we don't start thinking about it and trying to do that, we're never going to get anywhere.
And to have that global sense that we're, as a humanity.
As someone born in Yemen, I'm a kid born in Yemen.
How's your Arabic going?
Well, Arabic comes after Spanish, so I got to get my Spanish up to speed. Then we go Arabic, and me and my brother, and yeah, we owe it to Mum and Dad. They met there. Dad lost, his first wife separated, bad separation, so he's rattling around in this colony, but still, he found his career there. He found his life. He started changing things. It's very interesting what happened there. So Aden is for us. My dream is to go back to Aden and play in Arabic. It'll probably be Egyptian Arabic, which is the one that has the greatest reach. What's your heritage?
I was born in Afghanistan.
All right. So the language there is
Farsi and a bit of Pashto, but Farsi is the main language.
Farsi, which links into Iran. Is that
it's the same language. It's just the Iranian speaker with a bit of a.
Oh really?
Yeah, that's how my parents used to tell me that they speak it as French people. Like they have a lot of French nouns in a merci, for example, and they're very delicate. And we have kids where the farmers being very direct and telling you.
No, I do like people. I'm interested in all. We are all people. We were 10,000 people 200,000 years ago. Now we're 7 billion, and we look for different. Some people look for differences. They can make political capital out of the differences. I look for the similarities. I look for the bridges, the Verbindungs, because
there's a lot. I mean, especially in this city, when you realize it, there isn't that division anymore between Germans, especially people from the UK, because we live together, and it just gets more apparent that we're kind of all the same, more than we actually thought we are.
Well, it's always been the cities are the saviors of humanity and civilization, because that's where people might come into a city or grow up in the city, might think that, and they say, hey, but I met this guy, and there's this kid at school, and he's this, and so what is the big deal? Yeah. I even remember this early fight with a young black woman, maybe 17, 18, with a white boyfriend. She said, I walked past, I'm wearing lipstick, whatever, and she said, you're sick. Just said that, you're sick. I said, well, what does that come from? So a big argument. And then I was saying, well, surely your situation, what about gay people? And she said, oh no, I got gay friends. And I realized, and afterwards she couldn't back down, so I said, well, I'm sorry that the situation, and she said, well, I'm sorry. She wouldn't say it first, and I could see she couldn't get there. But it was kind of positive in a way that she was saying gay people are okay, but transgender not okay. And this was 20 years ago.
It still exists, though. It's unbelievable that it's still very vivid.
But it was interesting that the line had moved. The gay and lesbian people were inside the line now of society. What is society? You know, the Nazis moved everyone out of it and said, okay, disabled people, now you're moving out of society, we're going to kill you, and all this kind of stuff. It's what leaders give permission for. Hitler gave permission for it. You see, you like killing people, you want to kill loads of people, join us. We're glad you kill people, you know. We got this whole thing worked out. You can come up with crazy ideas. I mean, people did. It's just off the hook. Yeah. And Trump is now saying, you want to say all Mexicans are rapists, you want to grab women by the pussy, then join us, because that's what we do. And he says loyalty is this big thing. Trump says loyalty, not the truth, just loyalty. And that was an SS fucking motto. Yeah, my honor is loyalty. Yeah. So he's come up with an SS motto, is his way of living life. That is not good.
I think he's going to fall over his own fucking hubris though at some point.
Well, we're waiting for his hubris to
pop up.
It should have happened somewhere before the election was.
Yeah, that was weird. I mean, I remember when that interview came out, and I was talking to friends.
Which particular interview?
With the so-called locker talk, or the locker room talk, where he said grab him by the pussy, and usually that's the end of a political career. And he just went on and apologized for it, and his base like, he apologized, well, we'll follow him.
Did he apologize?
He went on TV and said, yeah, I shouldn't have said that, and it was out of effect, and it's not me. That's what they always say when they do something and they're caught doing it. It's like, that's not usually me, but you said it thinking nobody's listening to you, and that's the most you can be. And then he went on 2 days later, and it was fine.
Yeah, it's, this is the century, and next 80 years, maybe even next 30 years, apparently artificial intelligence will have parity with us in 2050 is an estimation. You heard that one?
Yeah, 15 to 20 years.
Yeah, so if that's artificial intelligence, so machines are going to be as smart as us in 15 to 20, then we better get our socks on. This whole idea that we just go around tearing into each other. But the easiest way to make political capital is to wrap yourself in the flag and find a blame group. And I think the blame group should be the far right. They're all the ones. They just sit there and say, what blame group can we do? Because then we can get political capital, then we can get votes, and then we can get into power.
They're the dividers, but nobody seems to.
Yeah, they start it all. Most of us are just getting on, living, let living, and then they're saying, no, hate these people. Well, hate the extreme right. The extreme right always start the hating. So, yeah, hate them, but you've got to push back on them, you've got to blame them. Maybe not hatred, but blame them. But it's just, I hate the fact that they make us hate, and I hate them. And I wasn't hating before, but they make us get really pissed off because they smash everything up.
Yes, sometimes watching these people talk and coming with facts, they're just always like, oh, we got facts, but it's not facts. It's just certain things bullshit. They can churn out.
Some of it is complete lies. And Trump with his new lies. Hitler said, lie big enough and people will believe you. And Trump he's working out of Hitler's playbook. Scary.
Whew. Should we come to the German section of the interview? Yeah. This is a tiny little game. It's called Gesprächsstoff. So it's basically a game if you're with people in there's too many awkward silences, so you get one of these cards and these questions.
This is going to be, I think, mehr schwierig dan als ein normaler Gespräch.
Ja, aber wir machen es jetzt auf Deutsch, Eddie, weil ich finde, dein Deutsch ist eigentlich super. Du bist zu modest, wenn es darum geht.
Ein?
Ja, aber nicht gucken, denn ich lese es vor für dich. Du suchst dann aus, gibst mir und ich frage diese Frage und dann beantwortest du sie. Okay, würdest du für 10 Jahre ins Gefängnis gehen, wenn du dafür nach der Ende der Zeit 10 Millionen Euro erhalten würdest?
Nein.
You don't need it anymore, do you?
No, and it's...
I think it's one of the stupidest questions we had. So.
Yeah, okay. So 9. So 10 years in prison to get 10 million euros or pounds now.
In my situation right now, I'm kind of thinking about it. I'm fairly broke, but 10 years of my life for 10 million? No. 100 million maybe. All right,
11.
Let's do one more. I hope it's 11. Glaubst du, dass ein bestimmter Gegenstand Glück bringen kann?
Do I think that
a certain thing or a certain item can bring you luck?
No.
No? You don't have any talismans or anything?
No, I try push against that.
Yeah?
I don't think that really works.
I have favorite shirts sometimes, which if I don't wear them, especially for certain gigs, it's like, oh
yeah, no, that's bad.
That's stupid, isn't it?
Yeah, people have had lucky this, lucky football, lucky boots. No, you should have it that. No, I try and make things difficult for myself so that when things really get hard, you say, well,
you make your own luck.
Yeah, I bring luck with me.
All right, a last one.
Oh, is it only 3? Okay.
Yeah.
I should read it. Gesetz den Fall. Gesetzt, what's Gesetz mean? Den Fall, the case.
Yeah.
Du könntest für den Rest deiner Lebens, the rest of your life, nur noch eine bestimmte Sache essen. Welche wäre das? So if you could only eat one thing for the rest of your life?
That's actually a good one.
Yeah, Frosties probably.
Really?
Yeah.
Is that your bread?
Yeah, but I would get to a biggie piggy. So this is nicht gut. Yeah. It depends. If it makes no difference to your body, then it would be sugar. You know, I'm a sugar addict. But if it's something, I had to eat something, and could affect my body, then I would say. Don't know what the one thing would be.
For me, it would be. I think it's always the carbonara. I love that stuff. I could eat it every day of my life.
Well, I'd say almond nuts.
Almond nuts?
Yeah. Because I could probably work out how to do those, and I like them with that and water.
That's good protein as well. Almonds.
Yeah, but I eat too many. Ja, zu viel. Almond, wie sagt man Almond? Mandelnuss.
No, just Mandeln.
Mandeln. But the Nussen is the general word?
The general word for nuts.
In Generalwort für das. Du könntest für den Rest deines Lebens nur noch eine bestimmte ist ein particular, ja?
Particular, ja.
Bestimmte Sache, thing essen. Welche wäre das? Ja, Gesprächsstoff.
Yeah.
So, conversation stuff.
Conversation pieces. Yeah. Stoff.
Na, auf Deutsch ist es interessant, you have Gespräch mit einem S und dann Stoff mit einem S. So 2 S.
Sometimes there could be also 3 S's and 3 F's. There was a huge reform. That was when I was in school. There was a new Rechtschreibung because it made more sense if you have certain words which has a double S and then the next word is an S.
Yes.
Back in the days, you would just leave out an S, but then the pedantic ones are like, but it's not right, you know, there's actually 3 S's. So sometimes you have words where you have 3 F's. And
so jetzt 3 S's is möglich?
Yeah,
it's possible. Because in English we cut those out. So if there were 2 S, we had ein S. Well, actually, not always, but sometimes. I don't know.
It's a weird but beautiful language when you can speak it. That's what I learned when I came here.
Ja, I mean, jetzt, ich mache meine Show auf Deutsch, ich improvisiere ein bisschen, ich bin sicher, meine Show ist mit deutsches Gespräch, it's conversational, you know, was ist das, warum macht man das und dann habe ein kleiner, you know, Schmetterling und Gandalf, du musst nach die neblige Berge gehen. Neblige Berge? Wo sind sie? 2 oder 3. Sie waren 200 oder 300 Kilometer. Jetzt ich sage 2.000 oder 3.000 Kilometer.
Yeah.
Was? Wie bitte? Wo ist die Auto? Auto? Flugzeug? Nein, das ist da mit einem Schmetterling, mit die what are wings?
Flügel.
Deine Flügel, mit deinen Flügeln. Fucking Flügel? Diese Flügel? Okay, I'll tell you about my Flügel. Diese Flügel. Ich war in einem Kampf mit einem Rabbit und
Hase.
Ja, Hase. Tony Hase. H-A-S-S-E?
Yeah, Hase. H-A-S-E. Yeah.
H-A-S-E?
Yeah.
One S.
One S. If you put it 2 S, it's Hase.
Yeah, I knew it. I knew a Tony Hase. It was Tony Rabbit.
Unbelievably that you were here. It's lovely. I can now go and make a lot of my comedy friends jealous. I met you and I talked to you and I'm very glad that you came. Thanks, Eddie. That's unbelievable. You're still here from 2 more weeks at the Quatsch Comedy Club?
Eine Woche, well, the end of dieses Woche und dann die nächste Woche.
Immer um 23 Uhr?
Nein. Montag, Dienstag und Mittwoch ist es, meine Shows sind um 19 Uhr und 19.30 Uhr, 7:30? 19:30 Uhr und dann 21 Uhr.
Oh wow, Prime Time.
Yeah.
Montag, Dienstag, Mittwoch.
Mittwoch. Und dann Donnerstag, Freitag, Samstag und Sonntag nächste Woche um 23 Uhr.
Und am 6. Juni, wie gesagt, hast du in der Normandie dieses Spezial und da brauchst du noch deutsche Zuschauer.
Yes, ich brauche eine
Crowd.
Ja, Zuschauer?
Zuschauer ist Audience.
Audience, Zuschauer. Ein Publikum ist...
Publikum ist das Gleiche, es sind einfach viele verschiedene
Zuschauer, yeah, and Zuschauer. Yes, I want people with imagination. They think, okay, I'm going to go to Normandy and then, but we have a party after.
Yeah.
And we have a party and ich bin die Gastgeber. Ich werde die Gastgeber sein. Und like I say, hello everyone, we're here. Ja, vielleicht Frosties. No, Frosties sind Drog, man. Drog für die Kinder. Jetzt, I'm not supposed to eat anything.
So, das war der unglaubliche Talk mit Eddie, 45 Minuten mit einem meiner Idole. Man kann nicht viel sagen, außer wenn ihr die Möglichkeit habt, nach Berlin zu kommen oder in Berlin seid, ihn live zu sehen. Er ist die ganze Woche noch im Quatsch Comedy Club unterwegs und er hat einen Special-Auftritt am 6.6. in der Normandie für unsere Freunde in Frankreich, wo er sein Set auf 3 verschiedenen Sprachen macht und er hat eine kleine Party danach, wo er der Gastgeber ist. Also das kann man sich eigentlich nicht entgehen lassen, besonders wenn man Comedy liebt. Und wenn ihr Comedy wirklich liebt, dann folgt uns doch weiterhin auf YouTube, dann kriegt ihr sowas jede Woche. Peace.
Wer zuerst lacht, lacht am besten.